I love you, man, because you're consistent. I've never seen you down, although I know you've had down moments. I've never seen you not a team guy, although I know there's opportunities tremendously to be selfish, but you're the same dude every day, man. And that's why I love you. Have you guys seen any different? Same dude every day. And for you, he's like, Coach, I need you to bring him up, rattle him a little bit, because I want him on his game. And he was looking out for you, man. That's why we did that today. And we're going to keep on doing it. Go ahead.
I'm standing next to mountains. I chop them down with the edge of my hand. That's little Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Wood. And apparently, we got a little controversy. I mean, it wouldn't be Prime, it wouldn't be camp without some controversy, right? Because Coach Prime opened up Colorado football practice not once, but twice this week. He let the fans come in, he let the media come in, he let folks actually watch the bus practice. But there were some rules. You know, no phones, no recording, can't sit there and tweet what you saw, and no reporting on injuries and rotations and depth chart of schemes, personnel packages. You know, leave your phones, watch practice. You could come watch football, but you ain't leaving here giving Georgia Tech a scouting report. But apparently, some folks got a problem with that. How, Sway? Well, that's why we're here. Let's wood this thing and explain it to the people. Because I want to be fair. I understand the media's argument. If you're a reporter and somebody invites you to practice, your job is to report. You see something important, you report it. You see somebody getting first team reps, you report it. You see somebody get injured, you report it. That's what reporters do, they report. So I understand why some members of the media looked at these restrictions and said, well, hell, why invite us at all? And that's a legitimate question. And these weren't normal restrictions. We go everywhere with our phones. People act like they can't live without their phone. And so when I said surrender your phone, you think it's very restrictive. But here's my question. Did anybody make you come? See, this is where we start confusing two words, access and entitlement. Coach Prime didn't owe anybody those practices. Most college football practices closed. You don't get to see nothing. And that's the part getting lost in all this fake outrage. Colorado, Coach Prime could have locked the gates, put security outside and told everybody, we'll see y'all September 3rd. Instead, Prime said, come in, watch, experience it. See these young men work, just understand something. What happens inside these gates stays inside these gates. Now you could disagree with that policy, but don't act like Coach Prime took something away from you that he never had to give you in the first place. Even NBC's coverage criticizing the policy acknowledged the obvious point. Most college practices are closed. And let me tell y'all something else. We're not in May. We're not in spring football. We're not at some damn coaching clinic. We're less than 3 weeks away from Georgia Tech. And somewhere in Atlanta, I promise you this, Georgia Tech coaches, staff, everybody ain't sitting around saying, man, I hope Colorado gives those reporters more transparency. No. They're trying to beat Colorado. If somebody tells them who's running with the ones, they'll take that information. If somebody tells them who's hurt, they'll take that information. If somebody tells them what personnel Colorado is experiencing with, they'll take that information. If somebody tells them what Brennan Marion is installing, They'll take that too. That's football, competitive advantage. So Coach Prime's responsibility ain't to make Georgia Tech's preparation easier. His responsibility is to prepare the Colorado Buffaloes to win. And here's where this gets really interesting to me, because some of the conversation nationally has become, Coach Prime doesn't respect the media. Hold on now. This man does press conferences. His players do press conferences. His coaches do press conferences. Colorado produces interviews. The media gets opportunities to ask questions. Hell, Coach Prime talks enough that something he says becomes a national headline every week. So this idea that Deion Sanders is hiding from attention, come on, man. Coach Prime has spent 40 years in front of cameras. This ain't about being afraid of coverage. This is about wanting to control competitive information. Those are not the same thing. And here's the other side nobody wants to admit. Coach Prime understands modern media probably better than any coach in college football. Because today, everybody is media. The reporter is media. That fan with 100,000 subscribers and followers is media. The YouTuber is media. That TikToker that you don't like is media. The dude sitting in section 117 with an iPhone and a Twitter account is media. One picture goes up, somebody zooms in. Who's that running with the first team? One video goes up. Wait a minute, is that a new formation? One tweet goes out. So-and-so didn't practice today. And 5 minutes later, it's everywhere. So what did Prime do? Take the damn phones. You can't leak what you can't record. You don't think Coach Prime knew ahead of time that if he invited professional reporters into practice and tell them they can't report anything they observed, that there's going to be some pushback? Man, that's predictable. Reporters aren't fans, they're there to work. So Coach easily accepts that criticism that comes with making the invitation under conditions. That's fair. See, criticism of the policy is one thing, but acting like this is some attack on journalism, you're going too far, you're doing too much. Because nobody's stopping anybody from covering Colorado football. They're telling you, you just can't record this practice. There's a difference. And let me tell you why whole thing is just funny to me, because while everybody else is arguing about whether reporters should have been able to tweet from practice, you know what we've been talking about? George Helow telling his guys that he ain't got a depth chart, he got a rep chart. Coach Prime teaching his team what being a good teammate looks like, using Bill Goldberg as a story example. Coach J. Mack, running backs, showing you why his room is going to be special. Andre Hart standing in the rain, telling these young men, you are the new beginning. See, that's football. That's development. That's culture. That's coaching. So while everybody else is debating the rules around practice, we're paying attention to what the hell is actually being taught at practice. And maybe that's the real story. Because Coach Prime has never approached media like a traditional football coach. So why would he start now? This is the same Deion Sanders who understood branding before athletes were even allowed to openly monetize their brands. The same man who understood television. The same man who understood entertainment. The same man who understood the art of storytelling. And now he understands something else. Access has value. Everything can't be allowed for everybody. Every moment doesn't belong on Twitter. Every coaching decision doesn't need to become content. Every personnel move doesn't need to be public. And every piece of access doesn't come without conditions. So here's where I stand. Media, man, I feel you. You're journalists. You came to work. Coach Prime basically told you, come watch, but don't do no work. I get it. Coach Prime, I totally understand. You got Georgia Tech coming up. You've got a brand new offense coordinator, a brand new defense coordinator, position battles everywhere. You're trying to figure out who you can trust. And you don't owe your opponent information just because somebody has a credential around their neck. See, both these things could be true at the same time, y'all, but here's the part I'm not buying into. That Coach Prime owes anybody unrestricted access to his football team. He doesn't. Access is granted. It ain't guaranteed. And so if I'm a Georgia Tech fan, I'm probably a little irritated because I'm sitting down there in Atlanta saying, damn, Prime, let the people come in and tweet and post their stuff, man. We want to know who's starting. Tell us who hurt. Tell us where Marion's running. Tell us everything. Nah. You want to know what Colorado is doing? Show up September 3rd, Atlanta, GA. Line them up. Kick the ball off. and find out like everybody else. Because at some point, all the articles stop, all the tweets stop, all the debates stop, all the predictions stop, and somebody got to play football. So y'all can argue about Coach Prime's media policy all weekend if you want to. Me, I'm gonna go watch this team have this scrimmage today. Because the biggest story ain't who couldn't tweet from practice. The biggest story is what Coach Prime is trying so hard to keep everybody else from seeing, until Georgia Tech sees it for themselves. I'm Uncle Neely. This is Morning Wood. Folsom Field behind us, Saturday morning, scrimmage day in Boulder. Let's get it.